So in my last video, I put all my 3-year-old snakes in this new rack that I just built, including 3 of my females that bred for the first time that have eggs. So we're gonna be making them lay boxes so they can lay the eggs in. And we're also gonna make a moist hide for my Tara Humara Mountain King snake. So stay tuned, it's gonna be a great video. Hey guys, welcome to another video here at Cloud Colubrids. So to make these egg laying boxes, it's going to be real simple. Just a plastic Sterlite tub you can find at Walmart, Home Depot, and we're just going to use some sphagnum moss, moisten it. I'm going to show you how I do that, and I'm going to also be making a moist hide for my Tara Humara Mountain King snakes who've been having slight shedding issues, so hopefully that fixes it. So stay tuned, it's going to be a good video. Man, I wish I had a little coffee right now. Go for some coffee. Whoa. Oh, this must be like a gift from the snake gods, my coffee. Just what I needed. Alright guys, so let's get to making this substrate for the egg laying box. Next, I'm going to show you the actual bin that I use, the little Sterlite bin. But this is all you need right here. Whoa! Ah man, I dropped it everywhere. Hold on, time out. Alright, sorry about that guys. That wasn't supposed to happen. I just dropped the moss. So this is the sphagnum moss. It's dry, you can buy it anywhere. You usually buy it at the pet stores. You can order it online, it comes dry like this. All you're gonna do, regular water, just sprinkle the water on top. Well, let me open this up first. All right, we're just gonna put some water in and just put a little bit, just a little bit. Work it in, just work it in a little bit, and then you could kind of feel that it's still too dry. Add a little bit more water, and just keep adding as you go along. You don't have to soak it right away. Now, you could soak it. You could, even if you put too much water or you just want to soak it, just wring it out until there's no water really coming out anymore, until it's not dripping yet, but it's still wet. I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm talking about when I'm done here. And I'm using regular tap water. Usually I use spring water, only the best for drinking. But snakes aren't like frogs. They're not gonna absorb the water and drink the water through their skin. So this is just to provide a moist little area for the snakes to lay their eggs. I'm just working it in, almost like when you're making hamburger meat. Just work the seasonings in. Or if you're kneading dough, you could use 2 hands, just knead it in. All right, so that should be about it. So now I'm going to show you the consistency of what we're talking about here. You want to grab it in your hand like a nice ball. You see it's dripping water? Just keep wringing it out. You don't want it dripping water. Just wring it out. See, more water is dripping? So now it's moist, but it's not dripping wet. So now when we go to wring it out, there's no water coming out. So that's what you're looking for. No more water dripping out when you squeeze it, but it's nice and moist. Man, I got a little piece of moss stuck in my coffee, but I took it out. We're gonna drink it anyway, because if it's good enough for the snakes, it's good enough for me. All right, so now we got the moss ready. I'm gonna show you the little Sterlite tub that we're gonna be using. Just a regular little Sterlite plastic tub. Pops right open. You see the little hole that I made? So now, it's not pretty. I just used a regular knife. Cut it right out. This is real soft plastic, so I cut it right out, no problem. If you want to be fancy, you could use like a heating element that'll cut it perfectly. I even had a drill bit that can cut holes, but I think this plastic will shred. I didn't want to take a chance. I've done it before, so it doesn't have to be fancy. It's not for display or anything. So that's all you're doing. You just gotta leave enough room so the snake can get in and out comfortably. But you don't want it too big where it's gonna lose humidity. You want it to be humid in there. And that's about it. And one more thing. Make sure the edges aren't sharp. When I used the knife, I had one sharp edge, so I cut it away. I kind of like filed it off, and it's fine now. It doesn't have to be perfectly smooth, but just don't let it be sharp enough where it could cut the snake. And you know, a lot of people put the hole on top of the bin, and that works perfectly. But these bins are a little too tall for that. So when it's sitting in my bin, the snake's not gonna have enough room to get on top to go in. So that's why I put it like that. All right, so now I showed you the bin. Now we're just gonna take some of that nice moss. You see there's no water really dripping out, no water dripping out. And we don't need a heavy, thick layer. Just enough to cover the bottom. That's all you want, just so it covers the bottom. You know what, let me put a little bit more, just a little bit more. Wring out some more moss. Put a little bit more moss in there, just in case she wants to bury the eggs. What we're hoping for is that she lays them nice and pretty on top, but if she lays them underneath, that's fine too. This is my first time, you know, doing this, so I don't know what to expect. But usually things aren't always as pretty as they seem when you look at the pictures online. Usually they want to make things kind of difficult sometimes, but it's no problem. All right. So there you go, that's the hole. We have it about, you know what, I'm thinking we can go a little bit more than this, just a little bit more moss. All right, wring out that water. We don't want no soggy substrate here. All right, that should be good, nice and moist. Nice and moist. We got a nice little layer in there. She can actually burrow if she wanted to. So now all we're gonna do, get that out the way. Put the lid on top. And these are actually really good bins to use when you take the eggs out and you want to incubate them. Obviously you're not going to use one with a hole. No holes, just the lid. This isn't airtight. You could put a hole or two, but we're gonna do that in another video. So we got the lay box ready, so let's put it in the bin. All right, so let's see what she's doing in the bin. She's in the back, nice and curled up. Now this bin is gonna take up the length of the whole back, so I'm gonna have to move her. So let's do that now. So I took the bin out of the rack because I can't really do it. So I'm gonna gently lift her away and put the lay box right there. And then we could put some of this aspen back. Alright, so there's Pumpkin and there's the lay box. Now if you look, remember I told you I can't really put the hole on top because it might not give her enough clearance to go in here. Now if she wasn't pregnant with eggs, she can get in there, but I don't want a chance. She got a lot bigger than before and she may gain even more size with the eggs growing inside of her, so I don't want her to have to squeeze in there. So that's just much easier for her to get into. And it's in the back, nice and warm. It's gonna build up humidity. You want to check that daily. If it needs more moisture, just add a little bit of water, and that's about it. Alright, so we finished the egg lay box, so now I'm gonna make a moist hive for my Tara Hermara Mountain King Snake. Just tweak it a little bit. I'm gonna show you guys what I'm talking about. So now I'm gonna be using some cypress mulch. This I got at the pet store. It's 4 reptiles. I'm gonna mix that with moss, with the sphagnum moss. So that's what I'm gonna do. You could get this at Home Depot for a fraction of the price what I paid for this. but you got to make sure it's 100% cypress without any blended pine or cedar in there. And when I went to Home Depot, they didn't have the one that I wanted, and I didn't want to take a chance getting something that might have something that could irritate your snake. So, you know, I'm not going to use much of this, so I bought it at one of the pet stores. I forgot which one, but all right. I remember now, it was Pet Supermarket. All right, so I only put a little bit this time, not as much. Add a little bit of water. Add that. All right, mix that up. All right, it could be pretty moist. I'm gonna add some of this lovely cypress mulch. We don't need too much. Not too much, just enough to fill this small tub that I'm going to show you. All right, that should be good. You know, it's always best to put less water. You could always add more as you go along. We're not looking to make it soaking wet, but actually this looks pretty good as the way it is now. All right, mix that up a little bit more. All right, so this is the consistency we're looking for. It's not dripping wet at all, just moist. And now this is a different bin. This one is just a gladeware. You can get this at your local, wherever you buy food, like a supermarket. This is meant to hold food, you know, lunch, dinner, microwavable. Just cut the little top out. I made a perfect circle. Now this is smaller in height than the other bin, so I could make the hole on top. So I'm gonna fill it up. Put a little bit more of that mulch, and that should be good enough, just like that. Now this snake isn't as big as Pumpkin, and it's a male. The male Tarahumara mountain king snake is the one that's having the shedding issues, and obviously he's not pregnant with eggs, so I don't have to worry about him trying to squeeze in there and trying to lay eggs or anything like that. So that's it. So Mojave is deep in shed right now. I'm using the paper towel, so I'm just gonna take this, put it towards the back. I could even put it like that, so he still has space on this side if he wants to navigate. He can get in there, no problem. So this is Luna, 2019 California king snake, high white. Hopefully she gets up to size so I could breed her next season. She still has a lot of growing to do. And when you're making these hide boxes, moist hides, egg laying boxes, you can use all different kinds of substrates. You can use peat moss, coconut coir, orchard bark, sphagnum moss. You can mix them all together. I was doing a lot of research before I made this, and it seems like a lot of people overall just use straight sphagnum moss, and it works out perfect. So that's what I did. If you have any questions, please leave comments. I love reading your comments. And if you have any suggestions, I also like reading those. Even if it's criticism, I have no problem with that. And this girl's a beauty. Take a good look at her. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And I'm gonna be giving you guys updates when my snake lay eggs. We're gonna be making incubation boxes. It's gonna be a little bit different than what I did today. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be safe, and I'll catch you in the next one.